All right, everyone. So here we are at the workbench. Congratulations to Bobby Wald on being our grand prize winner of Zartan's Lair. And buddy, I'm going to try to pump out the best Zartan Lair that's ever been created. Like I said, I went on YouTube, I researched all the other Zartan layers, and they were good. People did a really good job. They poured their heart out into every layer that I did see, but I did not see one that was necessarily cartoon accurate and to the quality that we're going to try to pump out for Bobby. And the heat is on because me and Bobby have been talking, and he is also a diorama builder. I'm not going to exactly discuss his dioramas because that's his personal business, and if when he's ready to show his projects, that's his grand reveal. I totally understand that process and letting people know, so I don't want to spill the beans on it, but he is an excellent diorama builder. I'm here to tell you, he does customs and beautiful work. So the heat is on, and obviously that's why he watches the channel, because we have such common ground. So in with that said, it's like an honor to build a diorama for a fellow diorama builder. So what an awesome gift. I would love for a diorama builder to build me one. Yeah, but so that's really cool how that worked out. And so I on all my dioramas, I always start with some inspiration pictures, especially if it's a specific diorama. Some I go off my head and I just make what comes to me, like the castle diorama, for instance, that you guys seen that was introduced just a few weeks ago. And you'll see the castle diorama progress. But for something like this, I have inspiration pictures. And this is from season 1, episode 51. Is the Cold Slither episode where they're trying to use the music to brainwash people and stuff. And pulling up was, I believe it was Cobra Commander, Destro, and Baroness pulling up to the cabin we see here. This is just a shot from the scene, and what I'm looking for here is the exterior structure, and I'm going to, try to make everything exactly the same as far as this, because the shape of the cabin and the cypress trees are crucial elements to Zartan's lair, and these have to be incorporated, in my opinion, as if you're going to achieve the effect of what we're about to do. As we get closer in here, yes, you can see Destro, Baroness, and Cobra Commander pulling in there. And this gives me the specs on the dock area, the pillars that may be in place, the way the boards are running on the building, the way the windows are shaped, the door entrance. It's very simple door framing and very, very simple stuff, but I want it to be precise. I want these walkboards to all be flowing one way and then the opposite way, just like it is in the cartoon. Okay, so I use these pictures to point out crucial aspects that I want to pinpoint on, and it makes everything all the more realistic. And this is just another close-up picture of showing me, the type of, very rough looking cabin wood. It's a very rough cut wood. Right here we can see the angles on the wood were cut at 45-degree angles on the door frame, so I'm assuming the windows we should do the same. But that's one aspect. I could have just cut these door angles, a straight cut, and slap it on there and say, hey, that's Zartan's cabin. But I go to the extreme of finding out the way the wood was fabricated, even though it was drawn, in a cartoon, and I go from there. So first place where I'm going to start with this, I want to build this structure. I want to build it, and I want to build it almost like a house would be built. I know that sounds crazy and a little time consuming, and some opinions, but you will see. We're gonna set these up here. You will see the purpose behind it, and what I'm about to do with that. And let me grab this stuff right here. Just a pile of wood I'm about to pull out. That's what she said. All right, so this is what we're gonna do our framing with. No, it's not a standard 2x4 shape. In fact, you know, in classified scale, it's close to what a 2x4 would be, a 4x4 actually in framing aspects. But we're gonna use this because I have a lot of this stock. I've been waiting for a project where I can actually do a framed structure, like a house or a cabin, and I've been building this up. So I can't even remember the last time or when I've had it sitting for a while. So this is great. This is material that I can, you know, incorporate into this project, and I already have it. And you'll see in the future videos of this build. I bought a lot of things like when I knew I was gonna go with the Zartan Lair a few weeks before Christmas. I was on Amazon purchasing things. We got some 3D printed stuff that I ordered for this build, and you'll see that's gonna come in. So there is a lot of like planning and thought process that I put into it, and it just depends on what style of build. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this framed out. I'm going to show you guys how I do it, and we'll go from there. Here we go, guys. All right, so this is how I'm getting my measurements for the rough framing. I just used the Range Viper for some height measurements, and it ended up being 9 inches that I was going to build the walls. And I'm just working and cutting my 9-inch studs. I'll get a top plate and a bottom plate going here. And then we can mark out the wall and see where all the studs go. And I'll mark both pieces of wood so everything is going to come out even. Let's see here in a minute. All these even marks will help you get a nice straight wall. And of course I'm using the blue mat to kind of make sure everything's going straight as I go. That's very crucial. The wood glue works great, by the way. This here is an example of what I normally make my dioramas on. It's plywood that is painted, but for this instance, it's just too heavy to ship. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a base out of foam. All right, so it's time to make the foam base. I do foam bases when I have to break down the base structure just for shipping purposes, weight factors. These are the magnets that we use. And I have 2 stuck together, and what I'll do is I'll place them in the area where I need them, going along the edges. I'll scribe them out, and then I'll just cut them out with a razor knife. It's pretty easy to do. You don't have to be too exact. You just want to get that little deviation. And again, I'm just cutting out for 1 magnet. So 1 magnet will be in one end of the foam board, and 1 magnet will be placed into the other end of the foam board. Again, that shows just how quick it is to just waller that out enough. And I'll check it as I go. And if it sits a little high, that's okay, because when you put the hot glue in there, it does melt it down a little bit, and you can get it set to the proper level. I've never had too much trouble with these at all. And it's a great method to hold things together with magnets for diorama base builds like this. So you can see we got them all cut out. I'm going to separate a few right here. And we're going to go ahead and apply some hot glue. Just get it all in there. Don't matter if it squeezes out. If you get too much, don't worry about it, because we can trim that up in the end. We'll fill that up. Bam. And that's how I set my magnets in my foam board. You can see here are some others that I laid out on the other edge. So there's going to be two sides of foam board on this base. Here's the foam board. You can see with the walls propped up. And here we are about to get started on the main wall here. I've already got a header made for the door and made another window there to the left. Now we're finishing it up with the final window. Going to show you guys how the header system gets cut here, and we'll put it together and show you how the window goes real quick. Alright guys, really quick, this is the rundown on the framing for Zartan Swamp Lair. As you can see, I bounce around from different workstations depending on how big the project gets. This one has already surpassed my workbench, so we brought it out here to the review table and cleared off the table for a little while. This is just sitting and drying right now. I glued all my walls on. This is going to be one singular piece. This is the cabin, obviously, and I have a range viper here to show you, demonstrate the size of the door and everything. You know, to make sure that he's going to look comfortable in that doorway, and even when they're at a window, it has two windows in the front. You know, I wanted it to be about waist high, and you know, the same framing that you would have in a standard cabin or a house. And it does have elevated ceilings. I could have made the ceiling probably another like inch shorter and got away with it, but I wanted it to be tall in there for what we're about to do. The next step in this process after it's dried out is I'm going to flip this bad boy open. I do have it sitting on some tinfoil because we glued the two main pieces together, and I just didn't want the glue to get everywhere. So it is sitting on a piece of tinfoil right now. But the next step, I'm going to flip this bad boy over. We're going to port some holes through the bottom and up through the wall cavities so we can run some wiring just like you would run in a normal house, but it's going to be the RC lighting. We're going to run wiring and lighting everywhere where I need it, and then I can show you guys what we'll do after that. All right, let's get this puppy wired. I start off by drilling holes that I need in the certain wall cavities, and then I'm going to run this small wire. This is like a same wire that you would wire up a garage door with. It's very light and flexible, and it works out real well. Holds its shape. That's what I like about it. I'm gluing it down with hot glue so I can keep it tucked to that board. And this is the bottom of the cabin. You can see there I'm gluing down some feet to make the cabin elevated. Right here, we're gonna flip it around. I got all the lights wired up in there. And that now the cabin sits up like it'd be about 1.5 feet elevated off the ground in classified scale. So it's only a few inches off the ground there. I'm just tucking in the wires here. I got them all wired up. It turned out to be pretty elaborate wiring system that I needed for the inside here, and we're gonna see if my wiring skills were good enough to make all these light up here in a minute. Yeah, this is the cabin, and I hope you guys enjoyed the first video here of the Zartan swamp lair, and especially Bobby. Bobby, I hope you like where this is going, and we're gonna keep cracking at it. I know you guys are about to see it powered up here in a minute and be like, what the hell is all this for? But you'll see. I got plans, and you'll see it on part 2. There we go. Everything worked. I was super happy. And now we can get on to the next step, which is going to be some ABS plastic. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please give a like, give a share, and watch out for the next Zartan Swamp Lair diorama giveaway. Thank you, everyone.